Good morning. My name is David Tarlow. I'm here on behalf of Washman Car Washes.
The testimony you're about to hear comes from TriMet's 82nd Avenue Transit Project Policy and Budget Committee meeting, which happened last Friday. Mr. Tarlow is one of the business owners who's opposed to the creation of semi-dedicated bus lanes on 82nd Avenue that are proposed by TriMet, and he has signed on to a letter from a law firm threatening legal action if they are built. Keep in mind there are 2 Washman car washes within the project area.
While we support mass transit, we cannot support the 7-mile bat lane option from Lombard to Clatsop. The proposal is that 2 entire lanes of 82nd, both northbound and southbound, will be closed to motor vehicles.
Nope, that's actually not the proposal. The proposal is to turn one of the 2 lanes in each direction into a semi-dedicated bus lane, what TriMet calls a business access and transit or BAT lane, where cars and drivers would explicitly be allowed to use those lanes with the bus operators in order to access driveways and businesses. Business access is literally in the name.
And that bus lanes will take their place, dedicated to 4 to 5 buses every hour, creating serious additional congestion, taking away 50% of 82nd Avenue's capacity just to speed up transit times by just a few minutes.
Nope, according to TriMet's numbers, full BAT lane option would speed up buses by 11 to 14 minutes throughout the corridor. And actually, the capacity of 82nd Avenue would go up with the creation of the bus lanes because you can make the street much more efficient by putting people in buses instead of having them in single occupancy cars.
But causing the same or worse corresponding delays for motor vehicle traffic.
No, that's not right either. According to TriMet's numbers, the delay experienced by car users with the creation of the bus lanes would only slow down the car users by 3 to 4 minutes. So 11 to 14 minute gain in efficiency for bus users, a paltry 3 to 4 minutes slower travel times estimated for car users.
82nd Avenue is a highway corridor that drivers use to get from southeast Portland to northeast Portland, and it should not be turned into a local street.
Okay, again, to be clear, 82nd Avenue is actually not a highway corridor. In fact, in 2022, it officially stopped being a state of Oregon highway and did become, in fact, a local street. This is an issue that's already decided. If Mr. Tarlow didn't like that, he should have spoken up before all the votes and all the funding came down. But it is absolutely a local street now, and it's being proposed to be designed as such.
In most areas where BAT lanes have been implemented, there has been additional capacity to add such lanes. In this case, there is no additional capacity. This proposal would add serious impediments to vehicles trying to get to 82nd Avenue business destinations.
What it would actually do is the opposite. It would remove all the impediments of car users from that rightmost lane, replace it with a bus coming by every once in a while, and still allowing drivers to access that lane. Therefore, it would be easier for the people who are driving on the street to access these businesses. They would have less competition for the space than they do now.
And would lead to frustrated drivers, empty bus-only lanes, and more traffic diversion into local streets, resulting in those neighborhood streets becoming less safe for those residents that walk, ride their bikes, and kids playing.
Okay, to be clear, there are not even really good numbers about how people would respond to this and what the diversion into neighborhood streets, if that would even happen and what that would look like. But if there were a lot more drivers going into neighborhood streets, what should happen is that the city would add modal filters, add more diverting and traffic calming so that people don't do that and they use the very nearby interstate freeway I-205. Pretty easy solution. It's clear that Mr. Tarlow doesn't really care about that neighborhood traffic. He's doing what's called concern trolling. He just doesn't want the bus lanes because he doesn't like transit. He thinks it'll hurt his business. So he will find some other concern to put in front to make his argument sound more reasonable.
And cause businesses to relocate due to substantial loss in revenue. We've already lost Walmart. We lost Fred Meyer. The congestion caused by taking away 50% of the lane capacity will not only result in increased congestion, as previously mentioned, but will also result in 82nd Avenue becoming a more dangerous corridor to drive on.
Well, that is just utter speculation and baseless fear-mongering that's based on no data whatsoever.
I-205 is already at capacity, so those vehicles that normally travel on 82nd will no longer use that route. They will utilize neighborhood streets, take their shopping, etc., to other locations in the city to avoid the congestion, and as mentioned previously, cause businesses to eventually close their doors and move to more viable locations.
Well, it's almost as if creating a city where the only mobility option is the most dangerous, least efficient, most expensive option, which is driving, was a bad idea. And maybe we should build a city so that people could have other options to get around, like taking the bus, biking, walking. I don't know, just an idea.
We are not in support of BAT lanes. Thank you.
So thank you, Washman CEO David Tarlow, for doing a great job at making the case that we need dedicated bus lanes on 82nd Avenue.